The term cinematic is throwing around a lot. And if you're talking about someone's film videos, it's looking cinematic. It's like a praise, right? It's looking like a movie. It's awesome. Obviously, there's a lot going into making a shot look cinematic. For example, lighting, lenses, movement, character, sets, everything goes together. However, there are a few tricks here and there to make your shot kind of look cinematic, so to speak, without spending or putting all those efforts into one shot. So what we see on the internet a lot is we usually see this. So this kind of crop gives you a fake movie, kind of this wide looking. However, there's a difference between this kind of crop and this. So you can kind of see the difference here and there. Right now, this is a shot using an anamorphic lens. And the term anamorphic is throwing around quite a lot. It used to be kind of this special lens that's only used in movies. And now we're making a lot of these cheap anamorphic that can be kind of used in our regular video. It's affordable, it's kind of consumer level. So today we're using this Blazar Remus 1.5 anamorphic lens. So what anamorphic actually does is quite simple. Basically, it squeezes your end result frame into this kind of like a long and wide thing, and then afterwards in post, it kind of stretch it to a regular looking thing. And when in post, it will just kind of be stretched out. So that's why you get this kind of like narrow, you get this kind of a crop top and bottom thing, but you get a wider left and right. The reason why I'm DP for this project, the reason why I use the anamorphic is because we're shooting a lot of streets, we're shooting a lot of exterior where we don't really have control, or our budget doesn't allow us to kind of light this whole scene, this wide kind of scene. So therefore, I feel just anamorphic kind of give us more setting and what's going on around the world. And instead of just a spherical where it just kind of look normal at that point, right? So anamorphic kind of gives you this movie feel. And I do really think it does. Like, here's an example of like just in Toronto, the famous Dundas Square. And it just looks different. It just looks different. And even the street I'm walking in, it looked different.
And I gotta say, I'm really impressed by these lenses. These footages are not from my short film, but it's just me going out myself with one camera and a lens and just kind of shoot around Toronto. And I'm really impressed by the result. I wasn't purposely framing or like try to do a good job. I was just want to see like how wide the lenses are. I wanted to see how they perform. And the end result really impressed me. A little bit extra information is that I didn't even have D-squeeze on my camera. I didn't have a monitor. And I literally just have a camera and lens. Also, all these footages are not color graded. This is just Sony S-Log3 using the Sony default LUT. That's it.
I hate this so much is that people talk about this kind of like this light streak, light, I don't know what's it called. It's just this wide, I know it's cool, it's kind of cool. And another thing is that you get this kind of spherical bokeh at the back because your image is stretched instead of a perfect circle. So those two are like characteristic of so you're using anamorphic, therefore you get these. And people just kind of like trying to get this effect.
I think the biggest question is that can you tell the difference? For example, a cropped one versus an actual anamorphic, can you tell the difference? The short answer is maybe, and the honest answer is above like 45-50 millimeters, I personally, it's really hard to tell the difference between a properly framed and cropped spherical versus an anamorphic, not including all of the characteristics we mentioned before. But if you ask me, do I regret renting it for the project? I'm gonna say that rental money is probably the best spending money of this entire short film.